Ready?
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How is everybody this morning? Welcome to Coffee Chats. I have a little bit of congestion, so bear with me. It is a fine Tuesday morning, November 7th. There are several individuals here to speak today. I'm going to kind of hand off the guard here to John right off the bat. But good morning and welcome. Good to see everybody.
And good to have you back. We even missed you. Not even missed you, but we missed you. I'd like to introduce the candidates. We have 6 candidates for the council. And before that, we were just handed out a sheet for sign up for cookies and for cleanup and so on. And Jeff was at our table, and I just thought I'd give him a plug. He's got this valet system going for the carts or the walkers, yeah, because we're going to be so many in the living room, and so we're going to park them in the normal spot where they belong in the exercise room. But then when you need them, you raise your hand and hold your $1 or $2. We don't tip around here, so this is going to be a fee. So those of you that have walkers, I just thought maybe I'd mention that you come with the folding stuff. We don't want and I say we because when I knew that Jeff was instituting this program, I put my name right up on top. So now serious. We thank those of you that have graciously signed up to serve on the council next year. And the ladies and Steve are right over here to my left. And I'm going to start out with Joy Gordon. And she has a couple of comments that she will make. And we thank you all for being willing to put your names up.
Thank you, John. I'm Joy Gordon, and I first want to thank all those people who have served on the council and are currently serving. We appreciate your time and effort and smarts. Really, you've done a lot to help make this place a better place to live. I've lived here for 2 years and appreciate this amazing place that it is, right? We all love living here. We have a vibrant community of people who care about one another and enjoy life together. Personally, I have a son and a daughter and 4 grandchildren, as well as my daughter-in-law's family before she married my son. My career has been mostly in education and also as a project coordinator for interfaith initiatives. In my 2 years at Ridgepoint, I have actively worked to bring more joyfulness and fun to this unique community. Last year, I co-chaired the craft fair and was supportive in helping it run more smoothly. I served for a year on the food committee and continue to bring to light things that can be improved and solutions. We don't just gripe, we bring solutions. I also coordinated the Golden 90s group with Freda Golden last year, and we had 2 women who came who were 100. Oh, it was really special. And this will be my 3rd year of leading Hanukkah candle lighting for 8 nights. Well, you'll hear more about that. As a volunteer in the community, I served as a board member of the Jewish Community Relations Council representing an interfaith community service initiative. My hobbies are teaching Kabbalah, bringing the mystical down to earth, and enjoying the richness of the arts in our cities. I love living at Ridgepoint. I feel that I bring insight and creative solutions to issues that need to be addressed. I'd like to continue to be of service to enhance life here for all of us. Thank you, and be sure to vote on November 14th. We want to hear from you, and vote today. That's important too. Thank you.
Thank you. And just a bit away from the candidates here, I was asked if I would give someone some advice as to who to vote for today for the city council and school board. And I have had to tell them that I was ignorant as to all but a couple of them that I would recommend. And I thought maybe that if some of us are in that same position that are looking for names, and rather than going over there on the van that they'll be talking about that will service us today, to go over there blindly vote, maybe someone wants at this time to mention a name or two of someone that they have met or know of that's running. Is that legit at this time or not? Hearing that it is not, or no one has anything, we'll do it. Anyone have any good word for a candidate?
I have a good word, one candidate who I choose not to mention just because I don't believe it's appropriate in this environment.
Okay.
She did come and visit us last week, and we had a very nice discussion with her. And I wish other candidates would come by and spend, just 5, 10, 15 minutes with us to help us understand what the perspective is. I'm not going to mention a specific candidate.
All right. Well, anyone else? Okay, Pam Ellie is presently on the council. She is running again for the council. I haven't seen her down here yet this morning. Are you here, Pam? She's probably gallivanting around the country. She and Susan Hardy's have taken a couple of excursions up to Alaska and so on, and I think they're planning yet another one. But Pam has served as treasurer and has been willing to put her name in again for a position on the council. Sarah Janey is here, and I'd like to hear from Sarah.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Sarah. Met many of you walking, and we always wave to each other. I've met many of you walking around when I do that and wave to you to say hello. And so again, I want to say hi. I'm Sarah Janey. Instead of telling you about myself, I'm going to ask you what you think you know about me. What do you think my background is? What kind of work do you think I did after college? Use your imagination. Maxine, you know I'm not going to call you. Maxine and I have known each other since 4th grade.
Were you a nurse?
I was a teacher. So I graduated from the University of Minnesota with an undergraduate degree in elementary education. And then I taught.
Hold it straight.
Straight?
No, straight this way, back and forth. Horizontal. So it's pointed at, there you go.
Okay. So do you mean to tell me whatever we've been talking about you haven't heard? I'm not going to repeat it. I'm not going to repeat it. Thank you. And then I taught in New Hope at Sonneson. And I also taught after getting married, lived in Connecticut for 12 years. I taught at Sonneson. So I have a little bit of the Eastern attitude, right? Where's Annette? Annette's always talking about my attitude. So you know where it comes from, a little bit on the East Coast. And Connecticut, so it's not as bad as New York. I did go on to get my master's degree from St. Mary's, the campus here in Minneapolis. And I did it in development and philanthropy because it really wasn't good to be able to get a job again in education. They weren't hiring. And the closest place was St. Cloud, and I have nothing against St. Cloud, except driving there in the wintertime was not something I wanted to do. And getting my master's degree gave me an interest into nonprofits. So my background is in nonprofits. I worked in capital, endowment, and major gifts for the Minnesota Senior Federation. So in groups like this of active older adults, and one of the keystones when I was there and raising money for them to do the different activities was, I think they had rebate, the property rebate. So how many of you have taken advantage of the property rebate? So that when you got that tax, when you got your property tax, you got a rebate on it as being a senior. I worked for the YMCA of Greater St. Paul, so with kids. And then I did work for the Minnesota Valley Humane Societies for the adoption of puppies and kitties. So you see I had the gamut of active older adults, kids, and little pets. And basically, you wouldn't believe it, they have an awful lot in common. I have been active in many organizations that have given me some background experience to hopefully, be of service and active here. I lived in a condo by Lake Harriet in Linden Hills in Minneapolis, and I was the treasurer of the condo. Minneapolis has neighborhoods split up, and they have neighborhood council. I was a member of the neighborhood council. And then from there, as some of you may have read in the paper, how Minneapolis is a little bit have problems with their zoning. Each neighborhood, when a project is coming up, they have a small area plan. And I was co-chair of the small area plan. And if you read that article about litigation and they're not able to go through with it, that was part of what we worked on when I was there. And as cities sometimes can be, they don't listen to their residents. And they went ahead with it as we didn't want them to go ahead. We were concerned about height of things. We were concerned about people not being in a residential area, having more. Density is good, but you don't want to do away from your neighborhoods. Neighborhoods are real important. And so I was involved with that. And I still like to tell some of my friends back there about if they only would have listened to us. And sometimes that's hard for the management or whatever to listen to the people. And I was also on the board of directors of the YMCA of Greater St. Paul. Now you're probably wondering, what is it, therefore, I could contribute to the purpose and goals of Ridgepoint? I guess you would say I'd like to be one that listens intently. I'd like to listen very intently to all the residents, because I look around and you can see, and I saw how you responded and how you're looking. There's so much wisdom here. Sometimes they think we're ready for retirement, we can't do anything, but we have a lot of wisdom. We're very wise, and we know what has gone on, we've experienced an awful lot, and have a lot to share. So I want to listen to that. I want to be your voice in making wise decisions, not just decisions, but wise decisions. Wise decisions that the people are asking for. And that'll enhance the quality of life here at Ridgepoint. Any questions? I appreciate it. Just want to let you know, as I said, my name is Sarah, but no H. And that is something that sort of bonded me when I run into you, because somebody always told me they have a daughter, they have a granddaughter with Sarah, and we always kid around, does it have an H or not? So I want you to know that it doesn't have an H, but the H is in Janie. Jaehne. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Okay, Sharon Woznansky is on the council, but she was a alternate, and she stepped in and served for a period of time. Now she would like to run as a regular candidate, and she has a doctor's appointment, and if you know how tough it is to get in to see your doctor, you just go ahead and keep your doctor's appointment. And she has served us well, and many times we like to get the minutes done quickly. The times that she has done it, it's been done the same day, and has been done well. So Sharon Woznansky. Sherry Lewis. She is famous for other things other than running for the board. But we have Sherry Harris with us here. And she has also been an alternate this past year and is chosen to run and serve in some position. And we've enjoyed having her sit in on the meetings. And Sherry Harris.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Not only am as I'm known as Sherry Lewis, which is often confused with Sherry Harris, I'm also Martha Stewart, if you recognize me. That was for Halloween. However, today, as you've heard, I'm anxious to be helpful to Ridge Point and serve on its resident council. Very briefly, and I am accustomed to speaking to groups, so I'll keep this short and sweet, which is what I am. After college and for many years, I held numerous elected positions for nonprofit organizations, civic associations, and religious institutes. As a legal secretary and president of these various organizations, I have applied my professional and administrative skills to be of good value. We were asked on this 2-page form to complete for the council what was my family, what was my hobby. And I wrote, because most of you don't know me in terms that I've only been here a couple of years, but I'm trying to be as supportive and active as I can be. As a retiree, I've enjoyed being with my 2 sons, one from South Carolina and the other from Golden Valley. In fact, if you were here this past year in December, my son and grandchildren provided one of the programs during Hanukkah time. I enjoy sailing, traveling, reading, being with people, and being helpful wherever it's necessary. I've had a little glitch health-wise, but I think some of you might be able to understand that as we age and join that golden circle, we do have challenges with our health. I'm fine today. Tomorrow may be different, but I will always be at the council meeting, which, as you've heard, I've been the last few months. I can share my ideas to solve problems. I can investigate alternatives, establish short and long-term goals, be creative and coordinate fundraising and programming events. I can recruit members, so be very careful who you speak with when you see me. I'd like to work with the Ridge Point administration as well. This, as you've heard, and I won't belabor the point, is a wonderful place to live. So is New Orleans, from where I hail. However, this is our life, and it's what we make of it. And every day, I think all of us try to make it a good day, a wonderful place to live. And I thank you very much for listening, and I hope that I will be one of the candidates that you will vote to serve on the council. Thank you. Oh, and you saw me because they lowered.
Okay, Steve Sinikin, and Steve is going to follow up He has served us well in filling in the activities area the last several months, and he has some activities that he's involved with right now that he will want our attention on. Steve?
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. I have to identify what I do and so forth because it's part of where I am at the moment. And I have been noted to have a big mouth, and I used it in the wrong place and got hired. I practice dentistry within the profession and also in the real world. I've served on local, city, state, national, and international committees, organizations, as president of a whole bunch of different things. I wouldn't bore you with them, but I've been there, done that. So here I sit and listen to this dynamo, Nancy Robinson, who says, you know, it's kind of hard to find a candidate for my position. She's a activities director person. And she said, but we have to try. It's a difficult position because not many people know how to do it. They just don't know how to carry the job out, and it scares them, so they don't want to apply. So yours truly, in his big mouth, had to say, I recognize what you say, Nancy, and it's probably true, but I've been there and done that on so many occasions, I'm not afraid anymore. And I also, as many of you have noticed, I hardly ever pass anybody in the hall without saying hello, and happily you all say hello back. I've lived here in the Twin Cities all my life, except for the 2 years I worked for Uncle Sam in the Air Force. I was the dental officer. And I think I bring to the job of activities, the Department of Activities Director, all the experience that I need to do a good job. And that's kind of boasting, but I guess that's what I'm supposed to be doing standing up here. I was asked to sit in, as several people are, just taste the council. Would I like to do it or not? I had no chore, I had no power, just sit in and listen. And then we had this little conversation. Nancy made her remark and I made mine, and I forget who it was, but the council said, can't we appoint somebody for a balance of this year? Because Nancy does not choose to serve next year. She has decided she doesn't want to do that. And I think John was, where is John? John was, there he is over there, thank you. John said, yeah, we can do that. He said, well, I appoint Steve. And John turned to me and held out his hand and said, welcome to the council. So I've been sort of on the council, but I'd like to be really on the council and continue working in what Nancy and I have been doing. She, by the way, has promised to be helpful to whoever takes the position, but she was talking to me, and I appreciated the fact she said that, because I've done these other things, but in this facility, I'm a rookie. I've been here 3 years, but without beating this up to you to death, my first year and a half, I wasn't really too much interested in anybody because I had lost my wife. Most everybody here has had a problem with that, so I won't beleaguer it. But the point is that I need support. Every time somebody tells me something new on the committee, on the council, I say, remember, I'm a rookie, start from scratch. Don't, you know, when they teach you how to use your computer and the guy goes, blah, 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 and then you go in here and you say, wait a minute, show me how to turn the darn thing on. I mean, that's the level I'm usually at. So I stand before you as one who has been working on this employee appreciation party coming up, which should be really lovely. And I would like to continue doing that and continue on the board. That's the end of my political speech. Now I have to take off one hat, put on my hat as co-chair for the Activities Committee. On your tables you'll see a sheet. And around the buildings, pardon me, you will see noted, like near Jillian's office, there's a poster and a sign-up sheet. We got them all over the place. There's one in the East Building where you sign up for dinner, etc. So there's plenty of places to sign up. All the places have pens or pencils near them. And we need volunteers. I know you've heard this before. I'm the third guy in line. I'm the one that irritates you by repeating something you've already heard 1,000 times. But we need some more we don't need a ton, but we need volunteers. And all the jobs are fun. None of the jobs are hard to do. Most of them are where you're going to be serving at the party. You're going to be very highly valued, and people will let you know about it. So let me just finish by saying, please, look at the sheet, sign up if you can do anything, because we will be in touch with you again. And, oh, by the way, please vote for me. Thank you. Then I'll hit you with it.
All right. Well, how lucky are you to have so many wonderful candidates to choose from as you go on to vote, and I hope you do so. Before I forget, I just want to introduce Sandy Miller. Also, she wants to share something.
Good morning. I'm not running for anything. Okay. I don't want to be elected. I'm already volunteering as much as I can. All right. I have two things this morning that I need to talk to you about. One is the cart issue. Please return your carts to where you got them from as soon as possible. Don't leave them in your apartment. Don't leave them in the hallway. Don't just put them on the elevator and push the down button. Be responsible for who use them. So, okay, there are many residents and there are a few carts to move heavy things around. Too many of them are left in the hallway. Now, how many of you use the Trading Post store? Have used it at any time? Even if it's just for bananas. Okay, all right, then you know what I'm talking about. Do you know that I'm just a volunteer, I'm not on the staff here, but I do run the convenience store. And every item in that store I've lifted 6 times before it gets on the shelf here. All right, and I do this 3 times a week. I'm not whining, I just want you to know how that store is, how it works. When I get here, I pull into the garage, I find there are no carts for me to take the groceries from my trunk to the store to put on the shelves so you can buy them. I'm not just talking to the people in this room, I'm talking to the people that might be listening on there to the coffee chat later on today. So this has happened several times that there are no carts, and I go back like an hour and a half later and I find there are still no carts there. That's, to me, is pretty inexcusable. All right. So then I have to go up to the main floor and get a cart from the move-in department, and then when I unload all the groceries in the store, then I have to run the carts back up there. Okay, you get the idea. Put the carts back. Okay. And why don't I order things delivered rather than go to the store 3 times a week? Because when you order for delivery, you're going to be paying about $100 more per week for deliveries on 3 different days. Otherwise, you've got old stale bananas by Wednesday. Okay, and that cost would have to be moved on to you guys. So, and let's see. So. The convenience store is there for when you forget something or you're doing something and you, oh my gosh, I don't have any milk. Well, the store is open, I can run down there and get it. This is not a grocery store. It's just a convenience store for the residents. The grocery store, you can take the van and get your $16, $18, $20 worth of groceries there, but not, you know. I hate to tell people not to come into the store, but there are times that by this time the store's been open for 10 minutes, the bread is all gone because people have bought 2 loaves, or they bought two containers of milk. They're not going to use that in the next 2 days. They'll be open again on Wednesday, you know. Okay, enough complaining. So, here's the other part. We will be having another annual food drive starting November 29th through December 4th. It'll be right after Thanksgiving, so we can restock the food shelf for Christmas. So, you'll get more details on this as it gets closer, but just keep in mind that it's there. And yeah, please don't buy stuff from this convenience store to put on the food shelf table, because you know why. Okay, anyway, thank you very much for listening. I hope you're still awake.
Jillian,
Yes, sir.
in relation to this, I got a call, several calls, saying, how can we thank Sandy for doing all she does?
You just did, John.
And I'm suggesting this, that Sandy, if you could give us an idea when you return, maybe call the desk ahead of time, and 2 or 3 of us will meet you with carts and wheel them into the store for you. I, for one, will do that.
But John, it doesn't quite work like that, because when I get groceries, I get back here like by 10:15 or 10:30. The store opens at 11. I've got to get them in there right away, and they've got to be marked and then put on the right shelf. Putting on the right shelf is the issue. Okay, I've had people help me in the past, and it hasn't worked out really well. So, and it also distracts me.
If there's anything we can do, will you please let us on the council know, and we will arrange it.
I was thinking about a trip to Hawaii.
All right.
Carry your bags, though.
So why don't we give Sandy a round of applause for all of her hard work. It sounds like there's a lot going on behind the scenes that maybe we're not aware of. So this is one of those situations where there's hard work being done, and we're so grateful, Sandy. Thank you so much. And again, if there's anything that maybe you want to talk to Sandy about, please do so. I'm sure maybe she would be happy to help you work something out with her. But thank you, Sandy. All right, I will move on to the week just to let you know, and I'll breeze through this because we've had so much to share today. So just quickly today, 10 a.m. we have Doug Ullman here back, and he's discussing St. Paul, his St. Paul tour, just exploring our wonderful city of St. Paul, its rich history, so its culture and its beauty. So if you are available at Marion Hall, 10 a.m. right after this, you can head up and enjoy Doug. 1 p.m. we have our craft time. It's our holiday box art with Carol Alberts. She's gracious enough to, again, donate her time, and I'm not sure if it's full, but the sign up is over there, and that's 1 p.m. in the art room. On Wednesday, of course, at 1 p.m. we have our TED Talks, which is recorded for your enjoyment. There are 3 topics. The 3 topics this week are we the last generation, or the first of the sustainable one? The second is how I found myself by impersonating other people. And I'm not sure if I'm going to say this correct or if it's CRISPR's. The next advantage is bigger than you think. And basically that's a discussion on the revolutionary technology that allows us to edit DNA. So that's kind of an interesting topic for TED Talks this Wednesday. 1:30 we have 500, and 7 p.m. on every Wednesday we have bingo and 500. Thursday, 9/11, we have our recorded coffee chats on 991. At 12:30 is our AARP Smart Driver Refresher course. Paula let me know there are still a few spaces available. So if you're interested in taking that, I believe you would have had to have taken the precursor course in order to be eligible for this. So if you have done so and you are eligible, there is still a few spaces available, and that's at 12:30. The excursion this Thursday is to the Sidekick Theater, and I believe everyone has their checks in, so thank you. And that leaves at 10:30, and then there's lunch at Snuffy's as well. And what's the production is The Marvelous Wonderettes, and that's at the Sidekick Theater. Friday at 1 p.m. is our Coffee Chats at 991. 1 p.m. is bridge and poker. 1:30 is, we have a small short honoring our veterans. So 1:30 I'll be serving a dessert, like a piece of cake. And then after that, following, we'll have a trumpet player and a piano, a duet from a trumpet and piano player. So if you're available, come and honor our vets. I will be a day early, of course. It's normally on the 11th, but I just wanted to make sure and get that in there. I think it's important. And that will be, of course, in the East Lobby as a result of the piano. And then on Fridays at 4 p.m. is our happy hour, and then at 7 p.m. every Friday is our movie night. And this movie is Necessary Roughness. Excuse me. Due to the NCAA sanctions, the Texas State University's Fightin' Armadillos must form a football team for the actual student body with no scholarships to help to play their football schedule. So that is the movie for Friday. And then, let's see, Saturday, pardon me? Oh, okay. And then Sunday, we have our men's breakfast, or pardon me, Saturday, we have our men's breakfast at 8 a.m. And then Saturday is our 7 p.m. bingo. All right, that's kind of what I have for the week, and I'll hand it over to Jeff.
Good morning. There was so much information today, I don't know that we have much time for my nonsense. There you go. Are there any new residents here today? I did that for Pat Sangren. She asked me to meet. Myrtle, have you? Hillman? Have you two introduced yourself at Coffee Chats before? Would one of you want to talk? No? Hillman and Myrtle, you're in 520?
Right.
East?
Right.
Where'd you move from?
St. Louis Park.
They're from St. Louis Park. How long did you live there?
57 years.
That's all? 57 years? Same house. All right. Welcome to Ridge Point.
Thank you.
Myrtle and Hillman. I'm sorry, I don't know your last name. Knutson. How would I not know that? Very good. Birthdays this week. Mary Ellen Hanrahan on the 8th. Don Sasma on the 9th. Joanne Cox and Margaret Rooney on the 10th. And Diane Combs on the 12th. Happy birthday to you all. Let's sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. Everybody vote today?
And his van runs today, pardon me, from 10 to 12 if you're wanting to
We
vote.
are taking the van to City Hall for the state and local elections whenever you need it from now until noon. And that's over at the library if you want to drive over there. Have a good week, everybody.